Ministory, sweet dreams. No sweet dreams for copper at bedtime. Sweet dreams mean good sleep. Good sleep. Did the couple have sweet dreams? No, the couple didn't have sweet dreams. Did they have sweet dreams or did they sleep badly? They didn't have sweet dreams. They slept badly. Did they have sweet dreams well? No, they didn't have sweet dreams well. They slept badly. Who didn't have sweet dreams? The couple. The couple didn't have sweet dreams. Did one man not have sweet dreams, or did two people not have sweet dreams? Two people didn't have sweet dreams. The couple. When didn't they have sweet dreams? At bad times. They didn't have sweet dreams at bedtime. Who didn't have sweet dreams at bedtime? The couple. The couple didn't have sweet dreams at bedtime. What were the couple names? The couple names. The woman names Susan. The man names is Fred. Was their name Bill and Fred? No, their names wasn't. Their names were Fred and Susan. Were they a couple? Yes, they was a couple. What did Susan do? Susan wrote a letter to Dr. Alice. Who did Susan write to? Susan wrote a letter to Dr. Alice. Did Susan write to Dr. Zimhan, or did Susan write to Dr. Alice? Susan wrote a letter to Dr. Alice. Why did Susan write to Dr. Alice? Well, because Susan and Fred have a problem. Did they have a problem at work? No, they didn't have a problem at work. They have a problem with sleep. Who had a problem with sleep? Susan and Fred. Susan and Fred had a problem with sleep. Are Jimhan and Susan married? No, Jimhan and Susan aren't married. Who did Susan get married to? Susan get married to Fred. Who is married to each other? Fred and Susan. Fred and Susan married to each other. Who tells Susan when to retire for the night? Fred tells every night when to retire for the night. When does he tell? Every night. Every night he tells Susan. What does Fred tell Susan? Fred tells Susan when to retire for the night. How often does Fred tell Susan when to retire? Every night. Every night, Fred tells Susan when to retire. When do they go to sleep? They go to sleep anytime from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. Do they always go to sleep at 30 p.m.? 9:30 p.m.? No, they doesn't always go to sleep at 9:30 p.m. Sometimes, not always. When does Fred get upset? Well, Fred gets upset when Susan's ready for the bed. Who gets upset when Susan's ready for bed? Fred. Fred gets upset when Susan's ready for bed. He's always happy or gets upset? Yes, he's always gets upset. Does Fred get upset when Susan wants to sleep first? Yes, Fred gets upset when Susan wants to sleep first. When does Fred want Susan to sleep? Before him, after him, or at the same time as him? If Fred goes to bed at 10 p.m., when does Fred want Susan to sleep? Yes, of course, 10 p.m. at the same time as him. If Susan sleeps after Fred, is Fred happy? No, Fred isn't happy. He gets upset. Why is Fred upset if Susan sleeps after him or before him? Because he wants them go to bed together. According to who, married man and woman should go to bed together? Fred. According to Fred, married man and woman should go to bed together. In Fred's opinion, should married man and woman should go to bed at the same time? Yes, exactly. In Fred's opinion, married men and women should go to bed at the same time. Who decides when Susan and Fred go to bed always? Fred, of course. Fred decides when they go to bed always. Does Susan decide when Susan and Fred go to bed? No, Susan doesn't decide. Fred. Did Fred and Susan go to bed angry many times? Yes, yes they do. Yes they did. Is it obvious that Susan and Fred have gone to bed angry many times? Yes. Is it obvious that they have gone to bed angry many times? Who has gone to bed angry many times? Fred and Susan. Fred and Susan have gone to bed angry many times. Why have they gone to bed angry many times? Because Fred wants them to always go to bed together, but Susan doesn't want them to always go to bed. Who wants to figure it out? Susan. Susan wants to figure it out. Does Susan want to figure it out? Yes, Susan wants to figure it out. Does Fred want to figure it out? No, unfortunately. Fred doesn't want to figure it out. Does Susan want to figure it out and get angry? No, Susan wants to figure it out and without get angry. Does Susan want to resent Fred? No, they doesn't want to resent Fred. Does Susan want Fred to resent her? No, Susan doesn't want Fred to resent her. What town is Susan from? Des Moines. What state is Susan from? Iowa. Susan is from Iowa. What country is Susan from? Susan is from USA. Thank you for listening.